All right, guys, in this video, you're gonna see the #1 Honda team in the country. Now listen, a lot of teams, they need training, but they don't do training. And then there's the teams that maybe necessarily don't need the training, but they do the most training because that's how winners are built. Man, there's a lot of teams that are distracted, they're confused, they're getting their asses kicked and they're going back to zero. And then there's industry leaders. This is the #1 Honda dealer in the world. Why are they so worked up to get to the next level? They don't need it. They're all making a lot of money. Their business is still doing better than everybody else's in the industry because that's how winners are built. Winners do more than ever required. Listen, you ask them to run 1 mile, they run 3. Every month we do a 2-day boot camp with them. We're able to pour into them. We're able to uncover their weaknesses. We're able to get better. And that's what winners want to do. You're going to see one of the top teams in the world being trained, being pushed, growing. We're making them uncomfortable. I made them climb a mountain. They've never climbed a mountain. They've never even seen a mountain. We're doing things that aren't just selling cars, but building the human to be better, okay? They had to sign mental waivers because we were pushing them to the brink. This is a company that understands this and wants this for their people to hit new gears. There's not a lot of salesmen that have a great mentality. So if we can build a well-rounded salesman like these guys that are absolutely crushing it as the #1 Honda store in the world, how committed are you? How committed is your team? As always, learn it, live it, then loan it to somebody else. So send the video to somebody else that needs this. If you have a breakthrough, always share that with somebody else. Let's go. Here's what I want you guys to focus on. I want you guys to think about this quadrant real quick. Does everybody got a big potential in them?
Yes.
Do you guys feel that? Do you got a potential in you? All right, nobody knows what your potential is other than who?
Yourself.
You. It's like you and God knows what your potential is, but like nobody knows what you're capable of, right? Like people used to tell me, hey, you know, 24 cars is the record in the store. And I'm over here like, how do I get to 50? How do I get to 60? How do I get more out of life? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I feel like on my heart, God's called me to be like a bigger than life human. I'm like, dude, I'm not meant to play average. You guys feel that? Yeah. Like that's the kind of energy we roll with, right? So we all got this potential, but how do you tap into this potential bank account? So in order to tap into this potential, there's only one way to tap into more potential in you, 100%. Tony Robbins taught this and it just made the most, I've tried to figure out other ways to do it and this is the only other way I know to do it. If you know you got potential and you want to tap into this potential bank account, you got to take new actions. Remember when we went on that mountain last time? Like you guys weren't here, this guy and this guy, but remember when we went on that mountain? You guys got a new action in your life and what did you feel like? What did you feel like when you got to the top of that mountain? You're like, holy shit, huh?
Invincible. You
felt like invincible, right? You experienced a new action in your life, which that created a new result in you, right? Jonathan, you got down from the mountain, you're like, dude, I fucking just climbed a mountain. And then what happened? You got to the top, you got that new result, then you got a new belief. And when you get a new belief, that's how you get more potential because when you beat yourself, and that's what this whole thing is about, is getting more belief so we can get more potential out of you guys. And then that way, dude, you're not just learning how to sell more cars, you're learning how to be a better leader. You're learning how to be a better father. You're learning how to be a better human. You're learning how to just be better all around. Are we after just selling a bunch more cars? Yeah, but that's not all we're after. Is selling cars like our main focus of what we're doing here? Not really, man. Our main focus is that we all have giants in our life and we want to beat one of these giants and we want to get to the top of a mountain, and in order to do that, we have to take new actions. This is the main thing. Okay, some of you guys, you're going to see different actions coming from those different things that you take. Who did something differently when they went home last time? How did you feel about that?
We all were holding each other accountable too, right?
Yeah.
Yo, Chris, like.
So you experienced a new belief in that accountability because you started working together, right? Do we have hard conversations?
Yeah.
Did we piss each other off a lot of the time? We were fighting with each other and shit, you know, I was fighting with you guys, Evan's fighting with you guys. We're like, but like, that's because we were taking new action. When you have new action, bro, you got shit like holding you back and it's mostly you like fucking, here's the current, like this is the current going to where you need to go. But when you're taking those new actions, there's like force that tries to come against you to not take those new actions. Like imagine if some of you guys would have saw that mountain and not climbed it. Imagine not experiencing that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like imagine the unlived life of like not doing that and feeling like what that felt. After you guys did that, you guys were like whole different people. Like I'll be honest with you, your energy changed, your mindset changed, all because of one thing, dude. We got a new result. And then when you got a new result, you started to like gain clarity, then you started to focus harder and you started to learn different. What else did you experience when you went home? What you got?
I wrote like handwritten notes, cards to customers that did not buy.
Yeah, 100%. How'd that feel?
It felt amazing because like I'm doing something that nobody else probably did.
Yep, 100%.
Like, whoa, I get a card. I didn't buy a car, so they might,
Okay, when you did that and you started helping people, how did that feel to your identity and who you are? Did that make you a stronger person?
100%.
Yeah, because then like, guys, I don't know about you guys, when you're doing hard shit, like when you're the only one going to, you feel like at 5 in the morning, you're going to the gym, you're like, ain't nobody doing this shit like I'm doing it. Like I got to feel different. If I don't feel different than other people, like I'm getting different results or taking different actions, I start getting down on myself, dude. I start hating myself. I start like talking shit to myself. I start like just going into this really bad mindset, you know what I mean? But I always say, whenever you're feeling helpless, get helpful, right? Go help somebody. But when you're on the car lot, sometimes we have this like, just this finite mindset that's like, oh, well, like I'm just trying to sell a car. It's like, hey, dude, even if that person's there with you and you write them a card, you're doing something good for them, but you're also doing it for you because then you feel good about you, right? And then the customer, if they buy, cool. But if not, that like, you know that you're putting some good energy out there into the world, right? And then what typically happens to you? You get that energy back, right? So that was good, dude. Can we all do something like that?
Yes, sir.
Good, man, but we got to keep it a secret in this room for the other guys. You know what I'm saying? But hey, here's how life works. Most people ain't gonna do it. And here's how it works too. I would spend all this time telling people what I was doing in my dealer, and there's a guy sitting next to me, he's making $50,000 for the year. I'm making 4 or 5 times that, and I would tell him the secrets. I'd be like, bro, you can do it too. I swear to God, it's not that hard. You got to do this. And then they'd be like, yeah. And then they go work service drive for, 2 days, and then they'd be like, I don't really know, and then they retreat back to who they are. So if that's something that you like within you, I guarantee some people will start it, and then they'll stop it. You know what I mean? So don't even sweat it. All right, what else did anybody experience? Anything else?
I started fixing little things at home.
Yeah.
To be more productive at work.
How'd that make you feel?
Amazing. I got more in tune with my...
Do you feel like that's like a big part of just life and everything? Do you feel like we get caught up in this business part of life and then we forget to like give the same energy type of things and the same structure to home?
It is.
How did that make him feel? Is that more important than selling cars?
Yes.
Yeah, like his family seeing his family experiencing that. But also, isn't it crazy when you do better at home, you naturally do better at work, right? But when like home is a wreck or your wife's just arguing with you, kicking your ass every day, and this is happening, like it's kind of hard to function and do what you got to do as a man going into that environment, right? But then sometimes we're the victims and be like, you don't know what I'm doing, babe. Like I'm doing all this shit. And she's like, they don't really understand. Like as men, we got to do both. Right? Like we got to be, this whole thing is also about being multi-dimensional humans and not just one-dimensional humans that are just like a car salesman. We're far more than a car salesman. Like we are the guys, we are the standard setters, we're the bloodline breakers, we're the people that people are going to look back in our business. They're going to be like, dude, I know that guy changed my life, just how he was operating in the business, but also he changed the community, he changed the people he was around. Like that guy's fucking powerful, dude. He's way more than a car salesman. And then you know what happens? Eventually you're invited into a table that's the $1 million a year table, bro. Like it's, once you start becoming that man even more, eventually somebody's going to shake hands with you and it's going to change your entire life. You know what I mean? But you might have to go through 2 years of that, 3 years from that. It becomes part of how you work, Calvin, right? Because Calvin, you know how easy it is? After 2 weeks or 3 weeks of doing that, you start to go back to it. Okay, write this down. This is in the Bible. I read this 2 days ago and we were talking about it. Live it. In the Bible, it says you need to live it, and Jesus is talking about, there's a story, I'll go grab it and then I'll read it to you guys, but he was talking about as leaders, when you bring the Bible in there, you have to live the Bible, and then you have to learn the Bible, and then you have to live it, learn it, then you have to loan it. Then you have to loan that knowledge out to people, because then when you teach somebody, you become a better person. If you're doing something really cool and you teach another person, like did he change our lives just now by teaching us that little tip? Yep. So he just learned us some knowledge, and then what happened to him? He feels freaking good because he loaned it, and then we grow. You know what I'm saying? All right, so this week, what we're gonna do, we're taking new actions, we're gonna get a lot of new results, it's gonna create this new belief, and you guys are never gonna forget this quadrant, because then that's when you're gonna unlock more potential. And how much do you got in this potential bank? Tons, bro. You got tons. You got no idea, bro. You're preparing for 2030, not 2025. Like a lot of the shit we're learning, maybe some of it's going to pay off in the form of car deals and a better life right now, but dude, don't think so small. Like, I'm trying to get you prepared for when you're the general manager, when you're the owner, when you're doing these things. These things are the skills in life that dealers and people are not talking about. You know why? Because most of them don't give a fuck. When I was in a dealer, you know what they do? Dude, I'm selling more cars than anybody in my manufacturer, my state that I've met. And I would tell them I'm going to invest money into a course. And I would ask them to invest money into the guys that didn't have the money. And they would make fun of me. They would make fun of me. They'd be like, dude, why would you go train? You already do so good. I'm like, dude, I'm preparing for a life that's huge. It doesn't just end with selling cars. It's gonna happen. It's this life 10 years from now. It's life 15. I'm preparing for this shit. And they never got it. And they always made fun of me. So the fact that you guys have a leader and somebody who wants to just see you go from here to here, we got to show them massive love, right? And the most important thing we got to do is just show them what? Results. That's it, bro. That's it. We got to show them a lot of this. And this shit's just going to be a domino effect. Belief is going to be a domino effect. The more money you want to earn, it's going to be found in the belief. Because the more you believe in you, the more that you believe in what you're doing, the more that you believe in yourself, the better that your life is, and the higher that you can rise in any industry. How much belief do you have to be like a Brian Benstock of the industry? You know, he walks out on stage, on the news, on all these different things. You got to have a lot of belief to do that shit, okay? You know, if you want to do anything big in your life, this belief bank account has to be big. But in order to get the belief bank account, you got to fill it with results. Because then you can go back and be like, hey, I did that shit. Hey, I was selling 10, I went to sell 30. Is that big? Yeah, that's fucking giant. Most people can never change. That's the one thing that most people can never do is just change from who they are to like a new human. You know what I mean? So that's our goal. Now, today, Andy's going to talk to you guys for a little bit. Then I'm going to come back in and we're going to go back over the things that we learned because a lot of times we just got to really get at what we already did, right? So we're going to go back over like Facebook on here. I'm going to correct all of your stuff because I really want you guys to start attracting more business. And it's a short game, but it's also a long game to where if we can get this part right, I feel like in 6 months, you're probably going to be attracting 20, 30 car deals. Like, you're not calling anybody. You're going to have somebody answering the phone and being like, hey, this is Jonathan's business. What's up? You know, with Paragon Honda. Yeah, John's busy. He only takes appointments. Hey, yeah, we can get you in tomorrow at this time. What kind of car are you trading in? You know, what's your credit look like? You know, do you currently have a car? All right, perfect. Let me see if you qualify with him. Let me talk to him. And if he's cool to prove you on like that, like we're building a big business. Have hope, have belief, think big, think large, okay? All right, give it up for Andy.
Let's go. No, hey, give it up for you guys, because at the end, give it up for you guys.
Yeah, give it up for you guys, Paragon.
And listen, guys, this isn't going to be any normal sales training. I'm not some gay sales trainer on the internet that's going to be out here giving you some bullshit that don't work, okay? Most of these people, the guys that trained me, I never wanted to be any of them. They taught me something, I believe that had some value, but it never really changed my life fully. I'm gonna tell you guys how to completely change your life. Number one, I wanna tell you this. You know when a frog, you know, like in, you know how you cut it open, right? And then you do a biopsy on it, right? And you dissect it, right? Dude, I guarantee most of the times I do biopsies on people when they die, and they wanna know why they died. Am I right? Like, what was the cause of death? Do a biopsy on your life right now and look back and realize, man, you really got the life you want? I mean, you really living the way you want? I mean, is this your dream life? Do you really have everything you want? I mean, do you want a Ferrari? Maybe you don't. Do you want a big lifted badass truck? Do you want $1 million house? You want the baddest chick on planet Earth? You want to be in great shape? You want to be a leader and example to people? So when you're talking, people are like, dude, I want to be like that guy. Like, do you want to be that person? Who do you want to be? What kind of legacy do you want to leave in your family? What kind of financial fence do you want to put around the people that you love, right? Well, maybe you want to break your bloodline. Maybe you haven't done that yet. I mean, I'm just saying, like, think about some of these things, right? Like, these things to me, like, this is all I think about. It's all I think about. I don't think about anything else. I don't want to think about anything else. I won't hang out with anybody that doesn't talk about these things. If you talk about anything outside of these things, we're not going to be buddies. That's all I talk about. And the reason why I say, like, do a biopsy on something, do a biopsy on your life right now. How did you end up where you're at? Why aren't you further than where you should be? Right? Like, why is now the perfect time to freaking become the best version of you? And in 2025, make it the year that literally, like, you look back on and you're like, dude, I freaking changed everything that time. Hey, and I want you to remember this. I mean, all the information that I tell you, it's proven, it's worked in my life, it worked for me. I'm not you, but I fixed me. And I was pretty screwed up. So if I can fix me, I know for sure if you run my play, I can fix you. Positive of it, 100% confident. I'm going to give you guys some things to think about before I even talk about sales with you for a minute. But your mind, what is this?
Tool.
This is the most dangerous thing in the world. And it'll either be dangerous in a good way or it'll be dangerous in a bad way. Your mind is not your friend. It's not your buddy. It doesn't like you. It doesn't give a shit about you. It wants to give you every reason why you can't do anything. It is full of the greatest excuses ever. It wants to make you lazy. It's not your buddy. Look, once you understand this, people are like, oh yeah, you got to build a great mindset. Your mind doesn't like you. So what do you have to do? Number one, I want you to write this down. Every day. And I want you to underline it. Every day. Not some days. Not Monday through Friday. Not even during the days I go to work. But then I don't do it on the days off. Every day until they bury you in the ground. I want you to remember that you learned this from me, that I taught you this. This is one thing that separated me from everyone else and the thing that's allowed me to have the life I have now. Every day I have to be really good to me. Every day I have to tell myself who I am, what I'm capable of. I got to tell myself how proud of myself I am. I got to tell myself all kinds of good things. I got to be really good to me. Why? Because I got to brainwash myself that I'm capable of doing everything that I want to do in my life. And all those things that I just told you, that daily conversation of things that I have that I want to do, I can do those things when I like me. I can do those things when I'm on fire. I can do those things when I believe in me. I can close 10 people. Look, you put 10 people over here, I can go close all 10 of them if I've been brainwashing myself all day long that I can do those things. But if I didn't do that, notice I said every day. If I didn't do that, you know what happens? I wake up in the morning, I miss that step. All of a sudden my brain, my mind that doesn't like me takes over. And it fucking ruins everything. It ruins everything. So, your mind, it's not your buddy. It's not your buddy. It's never going to be your buddy. And by the way, I said do it every day. Let me tell you why. Because every day you're going to have to do this. And the day you stop doing it is the day you're done. And this is why so many people can't be successful. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
I want you to think about what's going on inside here. Hey, screw objections. Screw learning how to communicate. Screw all that stuff first. How much do you know about you? Screw everything. Okay, you got to learn about money? Cool. How much, what's your name?
Charles.
How much does Charles know about Charles? Fuck everyone else. Fuck them. What about Charles, man? You know what I know? The world's so busy. There's so many distractions. There's so many interruptions. There's so much shit going on that literally most of the time you guys are so busy racing through life, you never even get to say, hey, how well do I know me? You're going to be the one that's going to make everything happen in your life, right? It ain't going to be me, and it ain't going to be your manager, and it ain't going to be the owner, it's going to be you. And so if you're worried about all this other shit, but you never focus on you, you can't win. Do you get it?
Yeah.
You guys, listen to me. You're a weapon. You're a weapon. But what if you're focusing on everyone else's weapon, but you don't ever focus on yours? The time you go to shoot it, it's rusty. It don't fire right. It don't work. How stupid would we be if we went through life, we didn't take care of ourselves, but we expected to build a big life? We'd be absolute fools. No one in this world wants to hear this message. You guys will, until you change, will always end up with the same life you've had for the last 10 years. That's why you have to change. Every day. Every day you get 5% better. You hear that. What does that mean? Every day you have to dissect yourself. Every day you got to look at yourself in the mirror and you got to ask yourself, listen to me, man. I mean, I'm like for real, man. Like, am I really proud of me? Like, am I really giving all I got? You know, am I really like mastering what it is that I do for a living? Am I really like mastering my mindset? Am I like mastering, everything that's going on in my life? Am I doing that? Because I'm going to tell you this, if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? No one can do it for you. No one. And that's the reason why. Listen, I want to tell you guys something, okay? I don't know what you're going to do till you die. I don't know. One of these days, you guys might be in the car business for 10 years and you might go and do something else. You know what I know? Whatever it is you do, you become the very motherfucking best at it in the world while you're doing it. Guys, stop thinking about what's next. Start thinking about what's going on right now.
Hey guys, it's the Macklin Twins. Let's go. You can join our free training where you're going to see thousands of 1%ers just like you in our community training on personal development, sales, mindset, and greatness. Yes. Join us. It's free. Click the link in the description, ELLIOTT Training Academy. We'll see you on the inside. Let's go, baby. Click the link.
Right now, if I had anything to do with it, my goal would be to make you guys the number one, not number two. There can only be one number one. The number one greatest car salesman that ever lived on planet Earth. If you do that, you're going to build yourself a name. And the next thing you do, they're going to be like, dude, he was the best at what he did over there. Pay him whatever he wants. Pay him whatever he wants. You guys want that about you? Yes. Build it. That's it. You want to get rich?
Yes.
Got to change. You want to change everything in your life? You got to understand what you think about is what you become. Very simple. Who you hang around with is what you become. You guys, in order to be a 1%er, right? Like, I want you to understand this because like some of you are full of excuses, and I want you to get this. You're going to have 1%ers. They take a different path. They think differently. They operate differently. Everything they do is differently. But if you take a world of people, and let's say you have an office, and these are all the people. Well, if there's 100 people and there's only one 1%er, is the 1%er going to be surrounded by 99%ers all the time? Yes. Yes. You cannot let these people infect the way that you think. Dude, I walk out in a neighborhood, I walk out in a community, I walk out on the street, you think I'm around a bunch of fucking badass winners? No, I'm not, but I am a badass winner. And badass winners, especially badass ones, they're leaders. You guys believe in God?
Yes.
You know what God wants? Leaders. Leaders of people. If you're a sheep, he ain't gonna let you, he don't let sheep lead sheep. He lets the shepherd lead the sheep. And so your goal is to become the leader. The leader gets to be the shepherd. The shepherd, by the way, the shepherd sells the most. The shepherd closes the most. The shepherd shows the other salespeople that are the sheep the example of how to do it. I can tell you guys, if you listen to me, you'll go back. Your managers, they'll want to be you. You think about it. Titles don't mean shit to me. Okay? Leadership is a skill of influence. Leadership is not a position. Right? It's a skill of influence. You can have whatever title you want. I want you guys to understand this until you die. No one wants a boss. I want you to hear me. No one wants a boss. No one wants a manager. Everyone wants a coach. Everyone wants a leader. You guys hear me? Mm-hmm. You guys want to get rich? You got to become a coach. You can become a leader. When you're talking to someone, what are you doing? You're coaching them. Yeah, nobody wants a manager. Nobody wants a boss. I don't want a fucking boss. I don't want a boss. I don't like people to boss me around. You know what I like? I like to be led. You listen to me. If you're living right, I'll listen. If you're coaching me, you're telling me the truth, even if it isn't what I want to hear, but it's the truth, I'm in. I'm in because I respect the fact that someone can give me the truth. You know why I closed so many deals? You know why I made so much money when I sold cars? Because I could tell someone what they didn't want to hear, but they could look at me and tell that I was a leader and I was a coach. And they did it anyways. You think people want to go run 10 miles a day when they play sports? No, but if you got a good coach, they'll do it, won't they? See, that's it. You just can't be a sheep and ask someone to pay more. And the goal is that you don't have to be a wolf or a lion or be crazy. No, you sell like a lion, you act like a lamb. You don't have to come in and fuck show people you're a lion. You're dangerous. People can look in your eyes and they know you're a lion. But when they look at you, they should be thinking one thing: I want to be like him. I don't know why, but I trust you. I don't know why I'm telling you these things, but blah, blah, blah. And then they tell you, and you just met them. You know, I never thought I'd be telling someone this, but then, boom, they tell you. Why they tell you? Because they trust you. Guys, listen to me. I want to give you a secret superpower that only exists in this era. People were made for communion. People were made to communicate. People were made to be close. And since this COVID shit happened, everybody's disconnected. I have built a $100 million business by getting close to people again. You guys need to understand this. A cold heart, unattractive. You got to be able to get close to people. You got to get people to freaking love you. You got to be someone that the world's never seen. Do you guys understand? Mm-hmm. See, I see these guys walking around all hard and all badass. Yeah, dude, I'm a badass. But bro, I like to connect with people. Everything that I do is based off relationship capital. Every relationship I have pays me really well if I can build a relationship. Most people, they don't know how to build a relationship. They can get people to do things because of money, but they can't get people to do things because they're living right. There is this thing called moral authority about who you become that literally, like when you're around someone, they're like, okay, I like him, I'm in. And someone that you just met will tell you should do something that at the kitchen table, you and your wife had a conversation about, we were going to do this, but then you met this guy and you're like, oh my God, no, babe, wait, let's do what he said. Why? People have a hard time making decisions. They're horrible at decision making. And then number two, when a leader steps in and a coach steps in and then they can explain how this works, and then you believe more than they believe and you're more convincing than you're more sold than they're sold, they do it. All of them do it. Every one of them. Now, everything that I tell you could be used for good or bad. Does that make sense? If I was a bad person, I could be manipulating people for bad.
Yes.
But I'm a good person. And I want you to understand something. I want you guys to remember this, okay? And the reason why this isn't normal sales training, because this is the fucking facts. Every one of you in here are fucked up. Just like me. I didn't want to be fucked up. I want to be a good person. I also didn't want to be like everyone else. I like to be the renegade. I like to be the outcast. I like to be the black sheep. I don't want to be like everyone else. I never wanted to fit in. I always wanted to be accepted, but I didn't want to fit in. I don't want to be like these other guys. I'm built different. And by the way, by built different is, I like pain. I like suffering. I genuinely like it. It makes me feel good. I feel alive. I feel like I've achieved something. Dude, you know people that go to bed at the end of the day and they didn't work hard all day long? Those people have to be miserable. You think they're comfortable? Bro, they're a loser. I know they don't like themselves. When I put in the work, when I'm doing everything right, when I'm growing myself every day, when I'm killing off the old me and recreating my life, dude, when I go to bed, I'm like, dude, I love me. Like, I love knowing that this life, I'm giving it all that I got. And so, like, I'm starting this out with, like, who am I? I wasn't always this guy. And a lot of you in here, I was exactly where you were. And you know what? I didn't have anyone tell me any of these things. Not one person told me any of this stuff that I'm telling you right now. And by the way, some of you in here, if you don't want it, this will mean nothing to you. Your mind, that's not your friend, has taken over your life. And everything that I say to you, you're not even thinking about what I'm telling you right now. You're thinking about some other bullshit. That's the reason why you're never going to make it. And the thing is, at the end of your life, they're going to fucking dissect why you never became successful, why you never changed anyone's life, why you didn't live a life that even counted. I want to live a life that counts. You guys will be included. Listen to me here. You guys will be included in so many big things. You will be called on. Like, I need that guy. Hey, we need him to build this. That's going to be the next owner in the company. Just by changing. No one in this world wants to change. So those of you in here that are like, dude, I want to get my best life. Cool. Here's the game. Nothing's going to change. The next 5 years are going to look the same as your last 5 years. Unless you start changing now. Now, the faster you can change, the more you get. Okay? So what must you become addicted to? Change. Change is always happening. And those that can change, fucking win. If you can't change, you're finished. So here's the goal. And I'm going to show you just a quick chart and it'll help you. Like, see, I'm a visual person. Okay, so I got person 1, I got person 2, I got person 3. Very simple. I want you to envision there's 3 people in this room. Every single one of you are going to decide when you go home. As a matter of fact, no, starting now. Because today's today. So we're going to change today. And by the way, just so you're aware, when you're gone, I'm going to live this way. Okay, so when I'm gone, you should want to live this way. Okay, listen, let's make this clear. You, without any of these people around, you don't need any validation. You can make it. You can do whatever. Okay, you know, like a resume, right? I've never wrote one. But a resume is what you turn in when you go to work. What does your daily resume look like? Like, for real, no bullshit. If someone was to really write it, and they're like, would it be like, he wakes up in the morning, he goes to the gym, he's on his phone for an hour and a half, you know, gets in half the workout he planned, you know, he works out hard for 15 minutes, but then he talks for 30 minutes and, you know, he cools down, loses his whole pump, then he goes back to working out. He eats clean half the day, the other half he doesn't eat clean, goes home at night, snacks. While he's at work, usually talks to other people. doesn't make the dials, doesn't make the calls. Internally, he's complaining, whining. He thinks everything's unfair. He's a little victim. I mean, like if there was a real resume wrote. I notice I said real, not some fucking made up lip service. This is what I do. No. If it was real, like God wrote it. God's like, I'm your creator, okay? I made you. I've watched you. Now I'm going to write your resume. You're like, oh shit. He's going to write it? Yeah, because it's going to be a real one. And it said lazy. Okay? Doesn't care. Really doesn't care. Comfortable. You know, like whiner. Complains. Negative. You think about all these things, like your daily resume, you guys need to start fixing you so that if you died today and God had read a daily resume, or if somebody wanted to hire you, by the way, I watch every single one of you. So if I'm watching you, I don't need to see your resume. You are a resume. It's like a walking billboard resume. Does that make sense? Okay, you ever heard me say you're a walking billboard? If you've ever heard me say that, let me explain this to you. I don't even need you to tell me. I can see you and I can understand. Does that make sense? Okay, billboards, they're on the street. Human beings are a billboard. When you're walking, talking, when you're living, when you're doing things, when you're having a conversation, everything that you're doing, I'm watching you and it is a resume of how you live. And then I'm thinking, hey, I want to hire that guy. Hey, I want to work for that guy. Hey, I want to be a part of that. Hey, that's a buddy I want to be with. Hey, I want to trust that person. Or I'm like, no ways. And that's the problem, is that all these people are walking billboards of crap. I'm not even talking about physical fitness. I'm talking about everything. The way you talk, the way you believe, your fucking passion. Like, dude, are you alive? Well, act like it. Like, energy fucking moves people. I'm always energetic. I'm always excited about whatever the hell's going on. When I'm done with this one, I'm going to do another thing and another thing and another thing. And all of them are going to bring energy, not because I'm paid to do it, but because I want to do it. When I go play with my kids here in a minute, there's no money. It's my kids need energy. My wife needs energy. I need fucking energy. I'm the feeder system for everything in my life. You guys are. Listen, you know what I love? I'm not very smart. I wasn't very good with tests. But you know what I was really good at? Reading people. And I could find hurt people. And I found people that stayed hurt their whole life and ruined their life. And then I found people that were hurt and then they rose and they became amazing. Because it was like lessons that made them better. And I was really good at watching people. And then, so that's why I built my whole life, was off studying other people. Dude, you can look around and you can see who you want to be and see who you don't want to be. Okay? You guys in here? Look, I'm going to tell you the cool thing about life. I can't tell you that you'll be in the automotive space until you die. But you know what I can tell you? More than likely, most of you will be in it for the next couple years. If that's the truth, if you ever want to leave, say, I'm going to be number one in the world before I leave. And then I'll leave. But I'm not leaving if I'm not number one. Two things will happen. Number one, you'll become number one and you'll say, I never want to leave. Or number two, you'll become number one and everyone in the world will want you in their industry and they'll fight to pay you. Because you prove that you could be number one in another industry. Either way, you win. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not okay not to be number fucking one. And I don't mean number one in Paragon Honda. I mean number one in the fucking world. Listen, I want to be a fucking threat. I want to be a threat. I want people saying, fuck that guy. I know, because I'm a threat. I get a lot of hate because I am a threat. I am a threat. If you're not a threat, no one's talking about you. No one talks about someone who ain't a threat. Okay? I want to be a threat to anyone in my industry. Now, I'm not going to physically harm them. I am a dangerous competitor. You do not want to compete against me. And I want you guys to be that way. I'm telling you, you have to make some decisions right now. Do you really want to become great? Do you really want your life to become something awesome? If you do, listen to every word that I say. And you know what? Don't even listen to it. Live it. Live it. It's one thing to learn it. It's another thing to live it. And by the way, I'm going to tell you the difference between good students and fucking great students. Good students learn it. And they can recite it. And I love that. Great students live it. You give someone coachable the play to run, it's over. You should, don't give me the play. If you got a good play, don't give it to me because I'm going to go run it right now. And I don't mean like tomorrow. I mean, I'm going to run it immediately. I might run it in the middle of this class if somebody gives it to me. I want to run it now. I'm always studying and figuring out what's my next move. I want to move so fast, even other people trying to study me get confused. That's what I want. But dude, God made us amazing. He made us resilient. You could be a loser, a washout. You could be in this room right now confused and you came down here. You might be burned out. And literally, I can light a fire under your ass. I can make you see who you really are and who you're supposed to be. And you can leave here and go fight. By the way, if you believe in God, I'm going to tell you this. He won't give you anything if you don't fight. If you're not a fighter, he ain't going to give you shit. Some of you, the reason why you don't have anything in your life is because you don't fight. He only wants fighters. You have to fight. If you're not going to fight, you're out. And by the way, do you got to fight some days? No, you fight every day. Look, I want to explain this to you. I have a giant business. I started this business in my kitchen table after 21 years in the car business. I never had a good leader. That's why I left. If I had a leader like Brian, if I had a leader like Marat, if I had a leader like some of those guys, I'd fucking be right there. I'd still be rolling with them. I didn't have leaders like those guys. You guys are very lucky. But I started a business. And I remember, man, I wanted to become someone great. And so I started studying, like, how do you become great? Well, number one, my definition of becoming great, mine, is getting better every day. And if you get better every day, the compound of getting better every day is probably the most dangerous equation on planet Earth. I can tell you where you'll be in a year from now if you'll run one of these things. I can tell you where we'll be at in 7 years from now. I can tell you where we'll be at in 30 years from now. By the way, listen. I'm going to show you a magic trick. Without even telling, like, I can tell you how much, if I couldn't see you, okay, act like I can't see someone. I can't see this person, but I say, hey, I can tell you how much body fat you have. I can tell you how much money you have in your bank. I can tell you what your relationships look like. I can tell you how much you like yourself. I can tell you what kind of leader you are. I can tell you your physical. I can tell you all this. As long as you'll do me one thing. I need one thing here. I need you to show me the last 500 days. I need you to show me your habits. That's all I need. I don't need to see anything. Boom, 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 boom. And I look at your habits. I'm like, all right, here's his body fat. Here's the way people look at him. Here's how much he likes himself. Here's what he looks like. Here's how much money he earns his money. I can tell you all that shit. That's a fucking magic trick. So when you guys are here, either you're living the life the way that you know you need to be living it, or you're just going to stay the same. And so, like, it comes down to this little simple equation right here. This is everything to me. And by the way, like, I learned this because I want to grow fast. And I can tell who's going to grow the quickest. Whoever can self-correct the fastest. Notice I said self-correct. Notice I said self-assessment. A lot of you, Ian was talking about, most people don't even know what they're doing. They don't even pay attention to what they're doing. You're numb. You ever been numb? You know when you're just going through the motions of life and you're like numb? Dude, I see people like that all the time. How disrespectful is it to God to go through life numb? Dude, are you kidding me? Dude, you guys got to be aware. How are you talking? How are you operating? By the way, super important thing before I go into this, and I told you guys about your mind, but also you're the gatekeeper to your mind. Okay, it's a neighborhood. It's a neighborhood, and there's a gate at the beginning. Every piece of information, everyone that says everything, you are the gatekeeper. Notice I said you are. No one else. It's no one else's fault. You're the gatekeeper. You decide whether that shit comes into your mind or not. And by the way, what comes into your mind comes out your mouth. Does that make sense? And that's why, if you just listen, and even some people have the lip service down really well, but if you listen and you watch with your eyes, you can see everything you need. And that's why my number one goal with you guys is to figure out how to change really quick. Remember, fuck the word tracks. You guys get it? Your job is to be the greatest speaker on planet Earth. When you can talk through any conversation, any situation, when you believe in yourself, when you're confident, when you have moral authority, you will close every deal, regardless of the word track. Period. But amateurs need word tracks. Okay? In the beginning, is it good to learn a word track? Yeah, because wordplay is important. I have a lot of really great words in the way that I frame things to get people to think. Who you guys become will ultimately determine everything you get. Doesn't matter. Sales training is irrelevant. Your sales training that you guys do in your company, right? If you'll notice, I do teach tactically some sales training, but most of the stuff I talk about, especially on if you watch my YouTube videos and stuff like that, it's like how to live. Why? Because I've never seen someone not become successful living right. It doesn't happen. And the whole world ain't living right. So if you're living right, you're going to stand out. And those that stand out, those that are different, those are the ones that make relationships others can't. Those are the ones that get rich. So, person one, you got to decide, are you going to be 1, 2, or 3? Now, I want you to understand the difference. This is very dangerous right here. Because if we were to talk to the world, I want you to listen to me. If somebody changed once a month, would that be impressive? Yeah. Am I right? Like if you had a buddy and every month he got better, would that be impressive?
Yes. Yes.
What if you had a buddy that got better every week? How impressive would that be? What if you met a buddy and every day you met him for lunch and when you did, he was a different person? That fucking be mind-blowing, wouldn't it? Okay, what do you want, a mind-blowing life? You want a better than most life? Or you want an average life? So this is what I call right here. So this is going to be, we're going to call these 3 things. Number 1 is going to be mind-blowing, right? And this guy's getting paid, okay? This one right here, we're going to call this one better than most. You know what the enemy of great is? Good. This is better than most. And then this one right here, call this average. Anything below this is dead. If you change once a year, you're dead to me. There's 3 people here. I'm going to show you this. There's 365 days in a year. If you can change 365 times in 1 year, that means you're changing once a day. Every day you're changing. Watch what happens. See this magical thing? This person changes 365 times in 1 year. That make sense? How many times you change?
300.
Watch. This is where shit gets really crazy really quick. You want me to show you how to take everyone out? You have to be this one. By the way, I'm going to say something to you. If you recreated your life every day, it'd probably be exhausting, am I right? Exhausting people build big motherfucking paychecks. Exhausted people build big businesses. Exhausted people get remembered. Exhausted people build shit that other people want. Okay? Also, it's exhausting losing. It's exhausting being broke. It's exhausting having your face not stand out in a crowd and no one fucking knows who you are, nor do they care. It's exhausting looking in the mirror and being like, dude, so that's it? So that's it? I mean, I went to school, they told us we could be anything, you know, and here I am, a fucking adult. I'm not anywhere I thought I'd be. What do you do from there? You either go up or you go down, because nothing stays the same. So I learned this game. The game is to change every day. Now I'm going to show you guy number 2. Guy number 2, there's 365 days in a year. This person changes once a week. Well, there's 52 weeks in a year. They change what? 52 times a year. You see that? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. How long does it take for this guy change 365 times in 1 year? How long does it take if this guy's changing 52 times in 1 year? How many times does it take for this person to get to 365? 7 years. Yep, 7 years. 7 years. Watch a slight difference. I'm going to take you, I'm going to take him. If I somehow could convince you to self-correct, self-assess, change every day, work on that mind every day, work on that resume, work on your hustle, empty the tank, train, retrain, unlearn bad shit, be the gatekeeper to your mind, every day recreate physically, externally, and internally. And he did it once a week. What he would be doing in 1 year, he would be doing in 7 years. Bro, are you kidding me? Let me give you an example. How much you make a year?
This year, 100.
Okay. If I made $1 million, just give me an example. You worked 1 year for 100,000. I worked 1 year for $1 million. You're going to work for 10 fucking years to do what I did in 1 year. Who's the fucking idiot? Oh yeah, but I don't want to do that. Good. Waste 10 fucking years. Go ahead. Waste 10 years. No, he just wasted 10 fucking years. Because if I tell you how to make $1 million and you don't listen, you're an idiot. If I can do it in a year, you can do it in a year. No one is better than anyone. People are better trained, they're better prepared, and they believe more. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. That is it. Once you guys understand that no one is better than anyone, people just want it more. I want it. I fucking live for being great, and you say you want it, but you don't really want it. If you wanted it, and he said actions, before every action, there is a decision made. Every action is mothered and fathered by a decision. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Listen, the decisions you made 3 years ago is the life you have today. The decisions you make today will be the life that you have next year. Tomorrow. Guys, a decision has to be made before action is taken. If you take action and you don't make a decision about what you will do and what you won't do, it won't last. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Do you guys get it? Yes. Are you guys seeing it? Do you guys understand? Is anybody teaching you this shit?
No.
No. You know why? No, I know, but you know why nobody's teaching you it? Because they don't fucking care. They don't care. Dude, listen. You think they fucking care whether you become a millionaire or not? No. They don't give a fuck, bro. I'm not being negative. People are gonna be like, I can't believe, oh, they paid you to motivate the team. I'm not motivating you, bro. Motivation comes and goes. Mm-hmm. I need you to understand so that you can become driven, so you either will get or won't get. So that you will decide, the way that I'm living now is giving me the life that I have now. And if I want more, I must change and I must do more. And by the way, hard work can keep you broke your whole life. People say, you gotta work harder. I know people that have worked for 30 years, 40 years, worked their ass off from 7 in the morning until midnight. They're fucking broke. They never got better. They never grew. They never became more talented. They never became more skilled. They never got better. They just fucking worked. Work isn't enough. And what the world wants you to think is just shut your mouth, work as hard as you can, you get numb, you never become more talented, and you're fucking broke. And you look up after 10 years, he's making 100 grand. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, bitch, I'm making $1 million. And you're going to go give 10 more years. I did this for a year. Now, is anything given for free? No. In the automotive space, can you make $1 million a year? Yep. You tell me you can't, you're a fucking fool. You can. You just got to be the best they've ever seen. Listen to me. We need to go from being, I want to be the top in the board on Paragon, to I want to be #1 in the world. That's what you guys have to do. And when you're competing for #1 in the world for the fucking Olympics, you train different when you're going to the Olympics. When you're going to a little local community fucking, tournament, that's a community tournament. There's no skin in the game. But when you're going to play in the fucking the gold medal or the fucking Olympics, like, you train different. Does that make sense? Hey, if you hear somebody talking out there, there's always fucking people talking. Don't even pay attention to those people. You hear me? Don't pay attention to them. Listen, I hear shit all the time, okay? You know what? I decide what I'm fucking focusing on. I make the decision. No one makes that decision for me. All these sheep, every little thing, every little beep, chirp, chime, anything that fucking rings, somebody runs across wearing a fucking rooster outfit across the road, they're fucking distracted. I'm out to win and to dominate and conquer. That's all I want to focus on. That's all I want to do. That rooster ain't got nothing to do with fucking conquering, okay? Now, do I want you to laugh and have fun and have a good time? Yeah, fuck, I laugh all the time. But you know what? I'm laughing my way to the fucking bank every day. I want to tell you guys something. The way that I live, totally different than you guys are going to get training from multiple different people in this world. Here's what I'll tell you. I run a 9-figure business. Okay? I've been in trouble. I've had issues. I've had problems. I'm all fucked up. But you know what I did? I unfucked myself. And if you can change you, I can change anyone. Why? Because I'm living proof I can. I did it. I love my life right now. I wish, and I want to tell you something, I wish I would have found me at 20. But no one was telling me these things at 20. You know what they were saying? You got to learn how to shake a hand. What are the 12-step systems of selling a car? It was like, this shit was so fucking small. There was no big shit. Here's what I'll tell you. The greater you can become, the better you take care of yourself, the more you learn, the more security you have in yourself as a man, the more money you're going to make. The better your life's going to go. You'll start getting included. Hey, that guy needs to be our general manager all of a sudden. Why did they pick you over that guy? Moral authority. They fucking see you're living life right. Okay? Loyalty, huge. Don't ever ask for loyalty if you don't give it. Okay? And I'm not asking you to give to loyalty to a place or a company that doesn't appreciate you. But also, if you're a fucking piece of shit and you're not running the numbers, don't expect to be important. If you're at the bottom of the board and you're like, well, nobody treats me like I matter. Bitch, because you don't matter. I'm not being negative. I'm just saying, like, hey, you want to matter? You want people to, like, want you? Watch this. Be someone that shares the pressure with the company. Notice what I said. Someone that shares the pressure. See, if I own the company and I see you every day giving all you got and you're going to help share the pressure with me, you're my fucking dude. But if I'm coming in every day and I'm trying to tell people that we're trying to take over the world and do these things and win these big deals, and you're in the fucking back of the room fucking around on your phone, not paying attention, numbers are low, aren't working hard, ain't making the calls, fuck you, man. You put the coffee on in the morning, dude. I'm glad you're here, okay? But I can't count on you. I want to tell you, I can't count on you. I can't count on you. You are just another number. But these guys are my killers. I can count on these guys. And I always wanted to be one of those people that my leaders would count on. My name, when I was younger, when I was 18, I got in automotive. My name, I made 125 grand, 225, and then I made 500 grand by the time I was 20. And I want to tell you guys something real quick. My name was in every meeting. My name. Okay? This ain't about me. This is about you guys. How did I go from a fucking kid at 18 years old that stuttered, that literally was a loser? And by the way, I still didn't have a good leader, but at least they taught me how to make money, and everything they taught me, I used everything they taught, and I mastered it. Remember this, if I teach you something, you have to master it. This shit I just taught you, you have to master it. You have to master it. You say, well, master what? What word track? Bitch, it ain't a word track. It's who you become. It's yourself. Yes. Can you make good decisions in your life? So, this decision, you'll decide. You change every day. You get 365 changes in 1 year. You change once a week, 52 times. You're going to change 7 times. 7 years is what it's going to take you to catch this guy. Now, here's dangerous. This is where, remember we talked about average? Average should make you sick. I want you guys to understand something. Average should make you sick. This should make you sick to your stomach. This guy gets 365 days a year. Watch this. As impressive as it is, it still shows you if you still do an average job, you're out. If this guy changes once a month, man, I mean, I'm just going to tell you, if I saw people change once a month, I'd be like, dude, most people never change their whole life. You change every month. As impressive as that is, you got beat by him and you definitely got fucking smoked by him. Why? Because you change 12 times a year. If you're going to change 12 times a year and your goal is to do what this guy did in 1 year, which is change 365 times, it takes you 30 years. Your life's over. So you guys got to decide. And you know what I'll tell you? I'll tell you the truth. None of you guys have been changing every month. You're number 4 guy. We didn't even talk about this guy. This guy right here, we didn't talk about him because we don't want to talk about that guy. So my question is, do you want it in 30 years? Do you want it in 7 or do you want it in 2025? If you want it in 2025, I'm going to give you a bucket of a couple things I want you to think about, and I want you guys to think about these buckets, and I want you to think how much these buckets mean to you. Okay? Ready? Number 1. Okay? Your relationship. I want you to put wife, girlfriend, somebody that's important to you. If you don't have a badass fucking home life, and I do, I'll fucking kill you. I'll kill you. You could be better than me. But if you got chaos at home, I'll smoke you. My mind is so clear. I take really good care of my home. Yeah, there's problems. I don't stress out. Okay, I love pressure. I tell my family, look, every time there's a problem, some see obstacles, some see opportunities. This is an opportunity for us to get closer. I want you to write that down. Obstacles and opportunities. You decide what you see. My wife goes, someone's suing us. Good, it's an opportunity for us to learn. Losers go, oh fuck, we're fucked. No, you're not. People sue each other all the time. This gives us an opportunity to learn. It's no big deal. This happened. Okay, all right, cool. There's got to be some good in it somewhere. This is an opportunity to grow. Do you guys get it?
Yeah. It's how you see it.
It's how you see it. Your perspective is ultimately the most important thing of your entire life. Okay, kids. Who's got kids? Anyone in here? Okay, if you got children, here's what I'll tell you. It is fucking child neglect for you to not show your kids what's fucking possible in this world. It is child neglect. And my parents did a fucking horrible job of showing me the example of what's possible in this great ass country that we live in. They did a horrible job. Horrible. If they taught me anything, it was how to quit. Okay, now if they're standing in front of me, they probably get their feelings hurt. You know why? Because they won't own none of their shit. Fuck them. I'm breaking my bloodline. I'm not going to be that way. I don't care. My job, I was born to make a difference. Okay? I'm not going to conform. You guys got to become the greatest. That's why you're alive, right? What do you think you're fucking here for? Dude, you're not made to just exist. You're made to be fucking great. And dude, no one ever told me anything like that. No one said, hey Andy, you're supposed to be great. No, dude, people told me that I was fucking lost. I was a loser. I was the least likely to make it. Dude, God uses those people. The greater the fucking mess, the greater the message. You can't tell them what's possible if you're fucking not showing them yourself.
All right, guys, you're the true 1%ers. You made it to the end of the video. Let's go. Like, comment, so we know who you are down below, and then share this video to somebody else who needs it, and also turn your notifications on, because we got the fire coming every single day. Amazing. We'll see you at the next video. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.